Hey there everybody and welcome! Today I've got Missing Link CO5 Sunstreaker. Never had a lot of the G1 or G2s as a kid, but saw this guy coming out and I'm like, man, he looks pretty cool, I gotta have him. So you got your traditional box art, a little abbreviated version of the instructions there. Awesome, your tech specs and little specs back here. All that good stuff, just as we would expect from this line so far. And then here he is in all his G1 glory. So really nice paint all throughout. Got some chrome plated plastic with some painted accents. He does have some die cast. He's got some rubber tires. Rolls really well. You do got a classic rub sign here, which you can, rub or just kind of hold your thumb on for a few seconds, get some heat on there, and then boom, there it is. Camera's not picking it up very well, but it does work. Underside's pretty clean. These you can have off if you wish. I just chose to put them on and leave them on, but that is an option. And then the canopy opens. And you can put the little Diaclone guy in there, and we'll see that in just a second. And let's take a look at accessories. So you do get your chrome-plated missiles for the robot mode. I'm not going to take them off the sprue, but you can see them. They got some decent detail on them. Just plastic, but the chrome does look really nice. Then you get his chrome-plated blaster. Again, some pretty good detail on that. Oop. Okay, that was all I had to show you anyway. You get two fists, a left and a right, that are non-transformable, and they're G1 style. You can't hold his weapon or anything. So, cool. I'm assuming this is really just for the box art and whatnot. Maybe this is for the original toy. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't have the original toy, so I don't know. You get this little Diaclone guy. Painted tin and blue, and then you've got, a silver head and back. His arms and his legs do all move independently. They're just on pins. And if you get him in a little seated position, that's when you can put him inside Sunstreaker. Fold it up right in the middle here. There we go. There we go. He sits down pretty good, and then you can close this up, and then his legs kind of sit down here. So there he is. Looks pretty cool. If you really wanted to, you could leave him in place for the transformation. I don't know why you would, but you can. The instructions, I translated them with Google Translate, and it does say you can leave them in there. So, weird. You do get a sticker sheet, which is a little redundant. As you can see, I only used one. We'll see that better in robot mode. And I'll show you why it's a little redundant as we get to robot mode. That's where it really shines. Then you get your instructions, all in Japanese, but, it's about what we'd expect from Takara or Hasbro. You get your little red tech spec reader thing. A very floppy collector's card, basically just a thick piece of paper. And you get this little Missing Link book, which has the cool artwork, and then it's got our two newest Missing Link bots, plus the other 4 that they've done. Right? So, pretty cool stuff. Alright, and now we'll do just a couple of size comparisons. Don't want to go too crazy with this, because of what it is. So here is the Missing Link Optimus Prime. I just didn't bring his trailer out, but I do still have it. So you can see he is, a little bit shorter when you take these off, but still looks pretty good. Looks pretty good together. And then the only other one I should say, is here is the MP39 Sunstreaker, their masterpiece version. KO, but same thing. So, looking pretty good. Of course, this is Toon and this is Toy, so you got some differences, but still, looking pretty good. So, there you go. And with that, we will get down to transformation, which, as you would expect from a G1 or Missing Link toy, super easy. Not much to it. Lift open the canopy. This is the only hard part of the whole thing, is we got to slide the legs out, and they are stiff. So I just grab back here, and there we go. It's gotten better, but the first time, I thought I was going to break something. And then going back in, they're still really, really stiff. Just split them there. You do have ratchets on the ankles, which is really nice. So you just bring these down, and that's basically his feet. Then coming up here, I'm going to fold this down. We're going to bring the arms out on both sides. They both have a small port that goes into these posts, one right here and then one right here. So you just need to lift them up off of that just enough. And get these rotated around. There we go. And then now we're going to take this whole thing and we need to rotate it up. There we go. It's got like a double joint kind of deal going on here. So what you want to do for this one is, let me see, yep, there it is right here. You want to bend it 90 at this hinge, and then you can sandwich it all together right there. This part, the seat, is going to go inside. The canopy is going to clip in. You got the two slots there for the two tabs there. And then finally, lift up on the head. And then back here, we just got to get the arms out. You just fold them down, fold them out, just however you can get them out. Actually, before I do, transformation's pretty much done. Flip up this panel. And there you go, transformation's done. This is where the missile would peg in. There is a port on the wrist. See, it's in there. My lighting is not showing you, but it's pretty much right there. It's looking at you. And that's where you would plug in the missile, if you wanted to. Like I said, I'm just not gonna. Come on now. Cool. And there he is, Sunstreaker, in all his glory. He is weirdly proportioned. Look at that. His hips are weird, and then when you see how far back his head sits. But what do you expect? It's how they did things back then. So, get a good look at him here. Really cool silver paint with yellow for his eyes and his little head wings. Other than that, you got molded black and molded yellow for his arms. We already saw all this in vehicle mode. I'll go ahead and unplug the windshield here to show you. These are all painted and molded details, which is why I say the stickers, which are here and here, they're a little redundant. You can put them over the molded and painted detail, but they're not going to stick that well because it's not a flat surface. Car Robo is the only sticker I used, and underneath it, it's just silver and strip of yellow and then blue painted. There's no writing, and it's a flat surface. That's why I went ahead and did that sticker. And then these guys, you've got red, but you've already got red in place, and you can put the yellow sticker over the red. Don't know why you would, but you can. Maybe that's how the original toy was. I don't know. Maybe that's if you want them to be a little bit more tuned. Then moving on down here, you've got some more molded and painted detail on the inside of his legs. Some more molded detail on the front of his legs. And then that's about it. Other than that, we saw everything in vehicle mode. He does stand pretty well. He is using his wheels. And then you've got these weird heel spurs in the back, which right now they're not touching. He's basically just standing on his toes in the wheels, but you can take those and rotate them down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Just weird feet. It took me a little bit to try and get them to work comfortably. Accessory, here is his blaster. You just peg that into his hand. Nothing special. It doesn't exactly go all the way in, but he does hold it really, really well. There's no other accessories for this other than, I'll show you the fist. You can see the two of them side by side. fist plugs in just like the missile does. And there you go. You can see they're pretty close to the same size, but it is a little bit bigger. And just because of how they have these fists, how they fold up, that's why this one's not formable. It just wouldn't fit. But there you go. Get this back out. All right, and let's take a look at articulation here. So his head, that's as far up as it'll go, and then you can have him look down a little because it would fold up, but he can rotate. Can go about that far in both directions. So that's pretty cool. You can bring the shoulders up at this joint, and you can bring them all the way up at this other joint. So you can do a really weird reach. You do have your butterfly joint, which will go all the way out to there. That's really, really cool. It's just a pin here. You do have a bicep rotate. That'll do a 360. Your elbows are single jointed due to transformation. Is what it is. Your hands, the fingers will open. The thumb does nothing. And that's what you get when the hand is open. Looks weird, just Nothing at the waist, of course. But then you do have a kick forward. A little bit of a kick back. This hinge is offset, so... And then it'll go all the way out. You've got a thigh rotate. A double jointed knee, which is a really nice touch, so it'll get you that far. And then, like I said, you've got ratchets on the ankles. Bring them all the way down. That's as far up as it'll go. And then you've got a pretty good rock on them. And that is it for his articulation. Okay, and we'll do just a couple of those size comparisons for robot mode. Here is the Missing Link Optimus Prime. So I think those two look pretty good together, both in size and, of course, style. And then, finally, here is the MP36 Toon Masterpiece Sunstreaker. And, yeah, it's wild seeing the difference between Toon and Toy, you know? Just because I didn't... Like, I grew up with these, but I didn't have them. I grew up during the G2 era, so I didn't really get them. So, but yeah, there they are. So overall, I'm actually pretty pleased with this guy. You know, he can do some pretty cool articulation type of stuff. I think what they're doing with this Missing Link line is really stellar. You know, giving us the old G1 and who knows, maybe G2 at some point, toys that just growing up, like, may have had them or wanted them, but God, there was nothing to them. You know, a 2 or 3 step transformation process, and that was it. Standing in basic poses and all. So, overall, I'm going to recommend this guy, as well as Cordone, because he would be the same, except he would have the light bar here, you know? It's not a character I'm attached to, so I'm not going to bother. Just like, believe it or not, Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, I just didn't bother. But he does look really cool. I've had no issues. I know a couple people I've talked about, I've seen on the message boards having a little bit of issues with the knees, but it doesn't seem incredibly widespread. So, I got this guy from, from Agabus, and, you know, a bunch of other stores are just starting to get their stock in if they haven't already. And, yeah, overall, he's a pretty fun little guy. Him and the Optimus are great to just flip back and forth. They're so easy. They have the fun and the easiness, but it's more than just, you know, a 1 or 2 step thing. So, keeps me engaged just a little bit. So, until next time, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.